What is up, guys? It's the PlayStation Pichu, and welcome to episode 29 of Let's Play Spyro 2, Ripto's Reignited Rage. In the last episode, we completed the beautiful winter tundra and paid money bags for the last time. Thank God. But now, we will be going into a maze with snail elephants looking for a pencil.
Yeah. This one I remember fondly, only for this part that you mentioned. The whole looking for a pencil part. This minigame was creative and was the most memorable part of the level. The only memorable part. Also, there's supposed to be an Easter egg in this level, but the Reignited trilogy removes it. I was kind of disappointed.
What was the Easter egg?
Things just aren't the
Okay,
same
in the
since our magic
fountain, there's
fountain
some
shut
gold
off.
coins.
It sure
One of
would
them has
help
the
if you could
face
find
of
out
one
what
of the
evil force
developers.
is behind this disaster.
Maybe
It's sadly been removed with the Reignited trilogy because it's not the same team. So there's no face on any of the coins.
Why not have different developers on the coins?
Or just keep the original devs.
I guess.
Like, I can understand if they didn't get permission from the original guy to put his face in the coin still, but... You could have put freaking anything at least to replace that Easter egg. You could have made another developer face on a coin. You could even put a lot of developers' faces on all the coins, including the one you're supposed to collect for the mission.
Oh yeah, the one that involves trading and stuff. And funny thing is, when I looked at the coins, I thought I could collect them, but nope. They're actually part of a long trading side quest, which will have you go from door to door, sort of, to basically find where these things go, and then taking them there. And yes, this level is in fact filled to the brim with snail elephants. Elephants that have snail shells.
And then there's snail rhinos. I used to love how they sounded in the original game. It's just like, "Wah, wah," when you hit them.
That does sound hilarious.
It's like it's trying to make its own Wilhelm scream. It's hilarious. So yeah, whenever I played Spyro in the original days, I would just always go for those guys first. Just the snail rhinos just going, "Wah." And then I hit them, and then they go, "Wow!"
Who comes up with these sound effects?
I have no clue, but it was just perfect.
Oh, and there are also some monkeys hanging on the trees that throw coconuts at you. And all you have to do is just charge or flame them out of existence. But there's a trophy that you can actually get by simply charging into them, as opposed to flaming them. And that's what I do here. Yeah, unlike in the Summer Forest and Autumn Plains levels, I actually go for the skill points the first time I get to the worlds, because there's no backtracking in them. Well, there's no forced backtracking anyway. And
there is the ability to backtrack and stuff.
yeah, and by forced backtracking, I mean there isn't anything that requires you to have a move that you don't unlock in the hub world, because by the time you're at the tundra, you will have already gotten the head bash. And so, wait. Oh yeah, there are some stages that do utilize the hip bash, if only for a few gems. Also, a funny little Easter egg with the little things the monkeys throw, they appear to resemble Wumpa Fruit from the Crash Bandicoot series. And funny thing is, their juice isn't purple in this version.
Wait, is this only with the Reignited trilogy? I never looked closely. I just thought they still threw coconuts in your face.
Yeah, in the Reignited trilogy, they appear to throw Wumpa Fruit.
Possible new Crash and Spyro crossover?
I doubt it means anything substantial. But it's
It would
still...
probably be better than freaking Crash Purple and Spyro Orange. For frick's sakes, those games were freaking tedious and wasted quite some time of my life.
I wouldn't even mind if they were remade into... Those two were remade into something better.
Crash Orange, Spyro Orange, the Cortex Conspiracy, and Crash Purple, Ripto's Rampage. Or, if they're called in other regions, Crash Fusion and Spyro Fusion, of course. Should just... I don't think they should exist. They just... You thought Crash Bash was horrible? Try these games.
I thought you were going to say boom. Never mind. So we're now in the...
Oh, Crash Boom Bang is basically a worse ripoff of Mario Party. We already know that it's horrible, but I'm just saying Crash Bash ain't that bad.
Okay, so... Oh, you may have noticed that I was messing with that potted plant, as at the time, I had no idea that it was part of a training quest. And here's where I meme it up again when I say, I never got to the winter tundra. Though I think I'm a broken record in that regard at this point, so I'm just going to show my... What have you
I'm
guys...
not gonna give any hints, but I love how this whole thing connects.
Yeah, it's like a maze.
Yeah, I love this mission. It was the most memorable thing for me in the second game. I just wish I could remember the level itself, of course. It's when you find out the whole catastrophe that happens in this level is just a silly mistake. And like it's one of the most forgettable things in Spyro 2, I'm telling you. Like, I can at least remember Magma Cones somewhat. It does seem forgettable at times, but a lot of Winter Tundra can be forgettable other than the robotic places.
That's disappointing.
And I usually save the robotic places for last. Now, I always thought the order was Robotica Farms and then Metropolis, but apparently it's the other way around.
And there's the trophy for head bashing all the monkeys. Yeah, I kind of monkeyed around looking for them. Pun entirely.
Yeah, you don't have to be dead on as long as your hitbox hits their hitbox, basically.
I know, I was making...
You can head bash right next to them, but as long as your attack just barely clips their hitbox, it'll hurt them somehow, even though it looks like it's not even touching them. So
yeah, and did you get my monkey joke?
Top of the head bash, it also damages. It's not just for show. So you can use that to your advantage to take out the monkeys. Just get directly under the monkeys and make sure that spinning part of the top of the head bash hits them.
Yeah, and in the underwater sections, there's some pufferfish that I really don't like because they can
They're
extend...
not pufferfish. They're technically platypuses mixed with pufferfish. They puff up like pufferfish, but when they're deflated, they're platypuses.
Oh. I wonder if they make the sounds that Perry makes.
You mean the...
Yeah, that.
Yeah, they don't. They sound like ducks, I think, last I remember.
That could have been a great reference. Oh.
So it sounds like you're punching Donald. It sounds like you're punching Donald Duck.
Now that you
Some
meant...
people would like to give him a nice punch for being
Spyro, a friendly
quite a...
face. A bunch
Jerk.
of potent
I really
things
would like to
stole
swear
my
just to
spark
best
plugs, and I'm
describe
stuck here.
Donald Duck.
Please get the 4 plugs back.
Well,
But I know I can't on your channel.
well, let's just
Trust
say
me,
that.
if you had one of those censored modes like some YouTubers do, I could probably go nuts.
Wait, censor mode is a thing?
Some YouTubers do this, where they basically bleep out swears.
Is it a built-in?
And a lot of YouTubers will use this when they're under a limit of swears, of course. So that they don't go over the limit of swears and they still get monetized.
Is it a common feature of YouTube or something? Or
No, it's an editing thing that some YouTubers do. In fact, the one that crossed over with Cat Icarus, this YouTuber being called Some Call Me Johnny, yes, those 3 words, Some Call Me Johnny, that's the YouTuber that crossed over with Cat Icarus when they reviewed the Insane trilogy of Crash Bandicoot.
I
He
bet
had this
they.
thing that he called his censor mode. And it was part of a freaking thing when they were talking about the secret hot cocoa level and how the Insane trilogy fricked it to the freaking craps.
Wow.
Like seriously, you should hear Cat Icarus. He asked him to turn on the censor mode, he turns it on, and then Cat Icarus just goes completely insane and swearing left and right. The fact the controls are in the remake. Whereas and fun and speedy and everything and responsive, but then in the remake it just feels like they're trying to make the control. So now you gotta be straight as a dang arrow in order to get anything right. Otherwise, trying to get the relics is not even gonna work anymore. Because they make the freaking water movements realistic, so tight and freaking. And you can't really turn out of the way in time before you hit a bomb or a nitro crate. And it's not even fair that way, so trying to get the dang
Relics?
relic is not even fair. It's just gonna be the most freaking frustrating vid for you, I'm gonna tell you.
I bet they went insane from that.
They made that joke. They kind of made it a little bit more jokey. Yeah, you could say that that level completely made me lippy.
What?
They did it like this. I can see why they called it the Insane trilogy. Yeah, that level completely made me lippy.
Lippy?
Loopy.
Loopy. Oh!
You probably couldn't understand what I was saying there because I'm trying to do a high-pitched voice. Lippy.
Oh god, that was hilarious. I haven't heard that since the episode where Jimmy drains his brain and he ends up becoming so stupid. It's unbelievable. Loopy, Loopy. And he does.
Trade.
Yeah, that. So, before I end up laughing too much, I may as well explain the quest I'm doing. Basically, these gliding raccoons have invaded this safari guy, and they went off with all of his.
Holy crap! It's a human.
Yeah, you wouldn't expect something like that to appear in a game like this. But anyway.
It's kind of weird how he sounds like.
Yeah, it is kind of funny. But anyway, they took his spark plugs, so he's pretty much stranded there. So we have to track down the thieves and basically charge or flame
Okay, this
them.
part's confusing now. How the heck did he get his car there? How the heck did those things find him? How is he gonna get out even if we do help him? Like, what the heck is this whole...
I think we're just piling questions onto questions at this point. It's about as confusing as Moneybags getting to the place he was in Aquaria Towers, in spite of the water supposedly being drained even before Spyro got there. But I guess he has his ways of getting around. And I hate that. I wish he was the final boss alongside Ripto. I would have loved to push him into the pit of lava. Especially considering just how much treasure he took. He takes about half your entire treasure, half the total amount of treasure in the game. Or almost half.
Yeah.
Somewhere
Like the greedy.
Remind me to actually get an audio file that actually bleeps that out.
Oh, it's easy to get the bleep sound effect, no worries. And you can even make it in Audacity. I just recommend just getting the sound file, it's a lot easier, so I'll get you like a nice quick sound file.
Or I could do something similar to what SpongeBob does with the censoring, and just have different kinds of sound effects.
Just gotta make sure you can differentiate the sound effects for specific swears then.
Or I can just go random with it. It would kind of make it funnier.
Yeah.
So then... Oh, another thing. How did they know Ripto would be a threat? I mean... One good way to contextualize gameplay is something called the Gruntilda effect. Or as John Sean called it, the Gruntilda theory. But basically it's where you build up a charismatic villain that the player loves to hate and would want to do everything in their power to destroy the villain.
Found one for you.
What? You what?
Found a censored bleed.
Oh, right. Oh, okay. So, the game doesn't really explain what Ripto did. It's kind of funny because in Spyro 1, almost every dragon brought up Nasty Nork. Even Spyro did it the first few dragons he rescues. And yet, Ripto is never mentioned in the levels, just the hub worlds. Oh. Now the manual says that Ripto was responsible for everything, but back then, this was during a time when story couldn't be explained through manuals. They had to be in the game itself. Now one could argue that because of the awful treatment that Insomniac did, it had trouble coming up with unique dialogue for what Ripto is doing in each world, but which is ironic considering, again, Nasty was pretty well built up. But in terms of story,
Woohoo! I'm back in
Ripto is
Here, young dragon friend.
kind of underdeveloped.
It's museum quality, but you
And if we do get a Spyro 4 similar to what happened, if we get a Spyro 4 next year that takes place before Enter the Dragonfly, similar to how It's About Time takes place before Wrath of Cortex, and Sonic 4, the episodes 1 and 2 were meant to take place before Sonic Adventure, and yet it probably takes place after Sonic Mania or something, but whatever. Anyway, here's the new quest.
I need that pencil back. Would you like to start over with a new egg?
Yep.
Here's another egg. You won't
It's
be able to
this
trade
quest.
it directly for a pencil, you know.
You have to find a pencil in this. So let me get this straight. I've been through ice. I've been through the ocean.
Alright.
Now I have to spend 2 hours in a maze with snail elephants looking for a pencil.
What?
Yeah, that's what you have to do.
Well, if you know what, it's not that hard. I don't think it's gonna take you 2 hours to look for the freaking answers, of course. Just use your brain, think of common sense. Where would these items go naturally? Look around the area, find something that these would go in, of course.
Yeah, that's what I tried to do for a while.
How long
Eventually,
did this take you for your first time, of course?
but eventually I ended up looking up the first part because I got genuinely lost. I completely forgot about the bird's nest that I saw earlier. I thought the egg went to the ducks because, well, a duck is a bird, and birds come from eggs.
No,
But-
it's the rubber duck.
I'm sure it's irony lost on the developers, but anyway. So I eventually looked up the first part, and I initially thought that it went to the Safari guy, but before I could spit it out, oh wait, I did spit it out. But basically, it didn't go to him. I thought that because I initially
must have
thought
dozed off there. Golly,
thought
looks
it would
I
be
let
like
the
a
fountain switch
dinosaur
off.
egg for him.
Here, take this
But then I
orb
was like,
and,
wait, we already did
don't
something for
mention
him.
my
Why would
little nap
we
to
do
high
something
drawer,
for him
okay?
twice? Then again, we did get 2 orbs from Hunter during that popcorn mini game. So what do I know? Also, there's that little orb. Apparently, the guy's been sleeping on the job. Lazy. But eventually, after looking it up, I eventually find out where it's supposed to go. Remember what I said about birds coming from eggs? Well, I finally figured it out and put the egg in the bird's nest. Then, there's this little seed that you get. I remember seeing that pot, and figured that's where the
What the
seed...
heck
Oh, what?
did I just watch? Someone sent this video on Discord. It's like 2 adorable mice in yogurt containers eating cheese, and the one tries to steal the other one's cheese. And so he knocks him over, basically. The one that was being the victim, he knocked over the thief.
Jeez.
He just swatted him and it just tumbled.
Jeez, that rat's got no chill. So anyway,
These were mice, little mouses.
I see. So, after giving the mother duck the rubber ducky, which is pretty ironic, you wouldn't think a duck would play with the rubber ducky. You'd think they would just
Maybe
have...
it's for the little baby ducks that are following her.
Oh. Well, I
Or
always...
maybe it is a baby duck.
Unlikely.
Illuminati, you've got to control.
So, this turnip goes here. And what's this? Boop! A coin. And of course, I saw the coins in the wishing well. Where else would it go other than the wishing well? But I didn't
Very
get
well,
it
that
into
was
water the
turned
first
off,
time.
of course. Because,
And for some reason, by getting in the coin, the pencil is just spat out of the fountain for some reason.
maybe wishes do come true. Spyro wished for the professor's pencil. Also, you will notice a model continuity error. The pencil's short and fat. And so you give it to the professor, and then it becomes, well, long and skinny, and smaller, like a pencil
now
for
I can
his
begin
size.
calculating the age of the universe again. Here, take this orb for
Oh, yeah, I
safekeeping.
did
Laura
kinda
thinks I'm
notice
going
that.
to lose it.
It's funny, but I didn't see that at first. I guess it's one of those things that you wouldn't see until someone points it out to you. Well, at least it was that way for me anyway. But with that, we have officially completed it. Oh, what was... The maze with snail elephants. Let's get out of here.
What's the reason for the, the fountain?
This. That gong just woke him up. Oh, he got a smack on the head.
Don't fall asleep, you mother effer!
Don't fall asleep, you idiot! They're going to have so much trouble later. Although all the snail elephants are in fact gone, so they should be fine now, even if the fountain does end up turning off. But what do we know? For all we know, more baby snail elephants hatched later on in the... So anyway, that's it for this episode. In the next episode, we will be heading into the Cloud Temple. And we are in for...
Why are people just crossing over Doom Eternal and Animal Crossing New Horizons?
I don't know. But I do know that we will be in for a treat.